Hi Sagittarius, welcome to the last half of January 2017. It's Raina here. So as you see, I have already laid out the cards. I had a couple of false starts. And before I begin, I just wanted to tell you that at the end of the month, which is going to be on the 27th to be exact, there's going to be a new moon in Aquarius. For Sagittarius, Aquarius is the third house. And the third house is the natural house of Gemini. And it relates to any kind of communication, writing, including creative writing and journalism. It can relate to, blogs, internet stuff. It can relate to your siblings and extended family. So you may be having new involvement with them for some reason. It can relate to, so it could be, involving launching some sort of project that involves the internet. And until February 6th, we have all the planets direct, and that doesn't happen very often. So there's a lot of forward movement for this window of time. And after that new moon on the 27th, it specifically relates to that particular area of your life. And so let's talk about what the influences may be. This is a general reading, by the way. We have, in the recent past, a card of going within. You may have found that after the holidays, you have been quite solitary for some reason. Maybe you are particularly trying to do this, consciously trying to do this, or maybe this seems, to just be happening and you don't feel that you initiated it, but you never know. Maybe your higher self did. Maybe, the universe conspired for you to spend time alone so that you can kind of get in touch with yourself for some reason. And the Hermit card also relates to the sign Virgo. So this could be somebody that has figured into your life in the recent past. When I say recent past, by the way, because I'm filming this close to the middle of January, this could be something that occurred, at the end of December. And that's one of the reasons why I said after the holidays, because I was thinking, well, a lot of times people get together with others and then they go their separate ways, and that may have been what happened. The theme of the month is the Four of Swords, so this can be a card that we associate with that Hermit card. There may have been something in your life that really took a lot out of you in maybe December, maybe even before that, because you were doing that already. I mean, this is a minor arcana card, but I really associate it with the Hermit in a lot of ways. It's a card of rejuvenation, restoration, and it's a card of of retreat, and not necessarily socializing. But whenever I see this card, it almost seems like there had been, prior to this, some kind of event that made your life very stressful, and now you are, trying to recover. And this is kind of like healing, even, like trying to heal from something. So just think if that is true for you. Remember, this is a general reading. So some of these cards may resonate and some may not. If there was a person who was a Virgo, that person may be someone that you are kind of refraining from being around for whatever reason. Maybe you needed some time to yourself if the relationship was not particularly pleasant, how it ended. The other thing too is that for career matters, it could be that you have been doing a lot of soul searching. Maybe you have not been happy where you are, and maybe there was a lot of stress at a place of employment, and so you needed, you know, the Four of Swords could be that you were taking like a sick leave type of a thing to recover. But I believe if that was the case, you did so after kind of searching your soul, you know, because you know that it was impacting you in a negative way. It was affecting your health. So maybe you're still with that company, but you're able, because of the rules, you're able to take time off in order to kind of get yourself together. And in that particular case, like what's coming in is a card that the Nine of Pentacles, which deals with being self-reliant on a financial level. And interestingly, it's a 9. And so the Hermit is a 9. This is a 9. This is a card of also of retreat, of being alone. But there's a wisdom in this card. So when you have this Pentacles, which is concerned with material energy, and then you have the number 9, it's almost like you're seeing the difference, like in terms of work, you're seeing like the real meaning of what work is all about and how it relates to, you know, how it connects to life and what it doesn't have to do with life. So in other words, sometimes people, they're just on automatic and they're in survival mode. So they're just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that to make a living, I got to do. And then they can get into situations where their health is so challenged if they're in a negative environment that they, if they're lucky, that they can have, you know, time to heal and still be, you know, maybe get paid leave or something like that. That they can kind of do that soul searching and realize, whoa, when it's time to go back to work, I can't do this. This is not good for me. This is going to, you know, this is impacting my health too much. I'm not willing to sacrifice my health for a paycheck. And that can be a really wonderful realization. And actually, with the Nine of Pentacles, it's also realizing that you have the means to take care of yourself financially. Maybe you have, you know, some kind of money that you get from leaving the job, like severance pay or something, and so you don't really have to worry about it, but you were still thinking about the future. And you realize now that your health is the most important thing. In personal relationships, this can mean that if you were with somebody, you may decide that you do not want to be in a relationship at all, and that you're going to just go it alone, and that you're self-sufficient. You know, this is a card of self-sufficiency. However, if you were with it could be too, for some, if this is like a love situation, the two people involved, one is a Virgo, or has that prominent in their makeup, and the other person is an air sign. So that would be a Gemini or a Libra or Aquarius individual. And it's interesting because that new moon is in Aquarius, but we just had a Gemini full moon in December, which is the opposite house of Sagittarius, 7th house. So that could be a time, you know, especially with a Gemini individual, the opposite sign of Sagittarius, where you may have called it quits with that person back in December. The higher message is the Three of Pentacles, and this is about being that architect and building for the future, and what gets you there and what doesn't get you there. I really think that for some people in the career context of this reading, that it could be that you have decided to do something on your own, And this is a great month for that if you have a side business already that you could bring to the forefront and to live off of. And that may have been, you know, kind of connected to that Nine of Pentacles. We're getting quite a, you know, few Pentacles cards for such a short, for such few amount of cards. So for some of you, there are career matters that are going on. But I feel like even if it is a career situation, that you've done a lot of thinking about this because you may have had a lot of stress attached to, you know, some kind of past situation at work that has kind of prompted that from you. The Three of Pentacles is about creativity with your endeavors and also about teamwork. So you may be involved with other people in whatever it is that you're doing. Even if it's your own business, you may be seeking out other people to help you, to build with you. It's a card of teamwork. So even if you're someone that is going it alone in your job of choice, you may still want other people to participate in some fashion in what you're doing. If this is a love relationship, it could be talking about that person, specifically if they are a Virgo, and that person being somebody for the long haul. Not just an affair, but somebody for the long haul. Somebody that you can build a life with. The challenge card is the Two of Pentacles. This is, if there's a relationship, this could be about having to make a choice between two individuals, you know, because it's the number 2. But even in that choice, because I did mention that there might be 2 different people involved, it's looking at it, I think that there's a practical consideration that is at the basis of your dilemma. Because if there is an air sign and an earth sign person, yes, I mean, the air sign person for most Sagittarians will be more stimulating, will be more, I think, more compatible, just based on sun signs for you overall, but it might not be as, like let's say you want to start a family, it might not be as reliable as a person who's an earth sign. So you may be thinking in terms of, you know, what do I really need in my life right now? What type of person? And because you've gotten all this earth, it may be that that's the tipping point in the favor of somebody who has that basic approach to life. For career matters, this is kind of what I was talking about when I was saying having a side job, because this could indicate having more than one job. If you haven't left your place of employment, if you're just on medical leave, let's say, you may be like thinking, wow, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And that's what I feel like. That's why I said about the Nine of Pentacles, that some people may feel like they just don't have it in them. But it's the perception of losing some source of income that made them feel independent. However, it's showing with the Nine of Pentacles that you do have the ability to take care of yourself, and especially if you have another job, maybe you're going to bring that to the forefront. But it can be a challenge in terms of like too much on your plate. I mean, that could just be, this is like a short period of time, and all of these cards except for the Hermit card are minor arcana. So this month may just be or I shouldn't even say month, the last couple of weeks may just be kind of tying up loose ends, and there may not be any major shifts, but it can be a time of dealing with practical concerns. The advice is the King of Cups, and so it could be also not necessarily advice, it could be what is coming up in the near future. The King of Cups is an older or more established man who is very sensitive and mature in his emotions. He's not like, you know, easily triggered or anything like that. And he is very compassionate, and it can be like, in a job sense, it can be having a caring boss. If you are involved with somebody who is, you know, your child's father, that could be that person, but they would be a very kind-hearted person, so it wouldn't be like a problematic individual, an immature individual. This is somebody who's very compassionate, who is, you know, of some support or assistance. And this could be a water sign person. And so that would be a Pisces or a Scorpio or a Cancer individual. In a business sense, they may be nurturing you, concerned about you. Maybe they'll even be a benefactor of some sort. Whether it's moral support or somebody who is helping you to do what you need to do to get your business off the ground. This person may offer some kind of, you know, sometimes it can be like even a minister or a counselor. And this would be particularly pertinent for those people who are struggling to maybe leave a relationship, or have, you know, going back to that Four of Swords, if you have, because I was even thinking of mental health days, you know, that they give you at work. And, you know, if you're cashing in your mental health days because your job is driving you crazy, you may seek out some sort of counseling because you know, you're just stressed out and you haven't yet left your workplace. But this is going to be someone who, it's almost like an anchor. I do feel, too, though, that romantically, this could be someone that you're getting involved with. Going back to the Hermit card, for some people, if that person is not a Virgo, and remember, too, that the Hermit is right above the King of Cups. So this individual may have both Virgo and maybe Pisces or Cancer in their, you know, sun, moon, and rising signs. So they may have a combination of those traits where they're practical and yet compassionate. So that may just be kind of illustrating it even more so, because we have as the outcome the Six of Cups. And I associate this particularly with Cancer, but, you know, with the water element of Cups. And this is a soul connection for love relationships. I was mentioning a lot of practical things connected to some of the other aspects if it was a relationship. But perhaps what it's showing is that in addition to the person being very practical, they're also very compassionate and somebody that you can connect with emotionally. The person, if there was another person involved, the swords could have been so detached that you did not feel that connection. You may have had a mental connection, but not an emotional one with that person. So this could be somebody, it could be somebody, as I said, you have a new moon in the 3rd house, which relates to your local area. Because, you know, I was thinking of how, you know, we're having a lot, like Neptune is in the 4th house for Sagittarius, okay? It's transiting the fourth house in Pisces. And it's going to be there into the 2020s, okay? So it's not going anywhere. And Chiron is also there. So for some people, your hometown, okay? If you had a high school sweetheart, something like that, and you always mourned the loss of that relationship. You felt like that was kind of a turning point, and maybe somehow you got separated from that person. Maybe you had some kind of awareness of this person. We did have a lunar eclipse back in September, maybe in the last few months in September. You have connected with this person with the new moon in the 3rd house. There can be an internet connection that creates a whole new cycle for you in some way, and it might have to do with somebody from the past. So that could be your soulmate. This is a soulmate card, so that's always a possibility. In a work situation, this could be having a job that maybe you've always dreamed of having since you were a child. Maybe it was something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe it's a hobby that becomes a business, and you feel fulfilled on a deeper level. And you don't feel that same kind, or you won't feel that same kind of stress that you did in your previous place of employment, because you were trying to fit into something that didn't fit right, So anyway, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below this video. Otherwise, have a great rest of January. Bye.